People are fed up with the crime and violence. You're seeing a shift. Now, this is from Oakland, California. 80% Democrat. 8 out of 10 people in this room vote Democrat. This is what they wanted. This is what they got.
I understand it comes from a place of hurt. Generally, when people are being violent, on some level, in some form, it's coming from a place of hurt. Sure. But if they're doing hundreds of gunpoint robberies, mostly to women, to people of all races, where I have lived in poverty my whole life, it makes it hard for us to keep jobs, to find jobs, to live life, to fight through mental health issues, to fight through our poverty. And it's not just one demographic of women, it's all kinds of women being targeted. This is systemic violence as well. And there's more than that.
I just want to turn to the audience and ask them, who here has been assaulted, held up, or beat up? Just raise your hand. That's pretty sad. We're all fed up because of you and your policies, and you call these criminals. They're criminals. I worked in Richmond for 10 years, and I see that cycle over and over again. You need to start telling people to stop having kids or have them if they're ready for them. Because I see kids that are not being taken care of, they're not loved by their own parents. Now, I'm asking you to let the cops start off giving tickets to low-level offenses.
Hey, soldiers, looks like the left has a limit too. We're going to look at 2 cities, and we're going to examine how the political leadership in those cities is having an about face where crime is concerned. Apparently, maybe a trend is developing where the leadership in these cities, which is often deep blue, liberal, leftist, loony type people who are the mayors and compose the city councils of a lot of these urban areas. So I can't think of one that's not, really. So we're going to take a look at how they're starting to change their tune. One city in particular, you won't believe how many outstanding warrants there are out there that have not been worked on. Okay, just the DA up there, who they recently canned and got her ass out of there because she was, wait until you hear about her. You are not going to be able to believe why they did not follow up on these warrants. Okay, or maybe you will. Then we're going to head out west from St. Louis. We're going to go to San Francisco. And we're going to look at how the mayor out there how she is unrecognizable in terms of the statements she's making today compared to the statements she made just a few short years ago. Okay? Black Lives Matter. Defund the police. Okay? We'll see what she thinks about it now. Guys, listen, hit that join button. Take a look at what we have to offer. I always say, listen, this is the Netflix of financial education. We are uploading so much exclusive quality content on that to allow you to get a better handle on getting your money working harder for you than you work for it. Hit subscribe, enlist, become a soldier of finance. You know, if you let me know you did that in the comments, I will salute you. You guys do such a great job of hitting thumbs up. Go ahead and do it now. Let the algorithm know this is what people should be watching on YouTube. Soldiers of Finance. Like I said, we're going to start St. Louis. And we're going to examine a situation that basically is the biggest reason probably why they've been having issues out there. They're not even concerned with looking for the criminals. New St. Louis Circuit Attorney Abe Gore, failure is not an option. So they're calling him a circuit attorney. Some areas call it a district attorney. District attorney. Some people call it a, I forget the other term. Anyway, it's the prosecutor for the area, for the municipality. State's attorney is what I was thinking of. During his first full day in office as the city's top prosecutor, St. Louis Circuit Attorney Abe Gore explained why he wanted to take the job and his priorities moving forward. Gore said during his interview with Governor Mike Parson, the governor didn't ask about politics. Instead, he wanted to know how he was going to get the circuit attorney's office back on track. Now, this is a trend that we've seen develop with prosecutors across America in the last few years. We've seen prosecutors who don't want to prosecute. They want to do things like intervention programs and, be celebrities. We had a celebrity here in Baltimore, Marilyn Mosby. She is now awaiting her federal trial for some improprieties that she is accused of. Innocent until proven guilty. We'll see how it shakes out. But we haven't had prosecutors who have wanted to do their job, okay, and keep the public safe. There's a group in this equation, and it's their fault. It's this group's fault that has been largely forgotten about or ignored or disregarded. And it is this group's fault that those things have happened. We're talking about inner city voters who get up every morning and they go to work, they pay their taxes, they make sure their kids are well behaved, okay, they mow their grass, they are law-abiding citizens. But because emotions flared, okay, you got a situation, or we as a nation saw a situation created where some quarters were actually suggesting that the institution of policing be abolished. Now, look, I'm no babe in the woods here. I understand that there are a lot of cops out there with a lot of serious issues that should not be cops, okay? I have no illusions about that. But there are also, I think the data proves that if some cops are getting up in the morning with a chip on their shoulder and they just want to go out and ruin people's day, law-abiding citizens' day who may have had an infraction, those are in the minority. They would have to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to walk outside, okay, for fear of the ubiquity of this terrorizing force. Now, in Baltimore, you did have the Gun Trace Task Force. They did an HBO series on that. It was so big. And these guys, you did have to worry about walking outside. Because if you were a law-abiding citizen, and literally, I'm not exaggerating here, this is what they said. These guys said when they allocated and, this information came out during trial. They said if you were driving a fancy car, you were fair game. Didn't matter if you bust your ass to buy that car and, you were working a 9-to-5 or owning a legitimate business. If you drove a fancy car, this was one of the characteristics that they used to target law-abiding citizens. So just want to put that out there. But the institution of policing, obviously, okay, without it, all right, this is what we get, where we're at now. And again, I always say this, if we are not careful and we keep on driving these hyper-racial narratives, and every time a white person looks at a black person crossways, it can't be because they don't like each other. Okay, it's got to be a racial component. Every single time any negative interaction occurs between a white person and a black person, it's racism involved. Okay, that's the narrative that the evil news media and the government want to feed us. When in fact, sometimes people are just assholes. And I just don't like you. I don't even see your color. That's another thing. If you say you don't see color, I don't see color. I'm just a person who loves everyone. Oh, you're a racist. Okay. That is the narrative, the sick narrative that's out there today. So you've got a lot of police officers who have backed off. Because, look, they're human too, right? And they're saying, look, I'll come play cleanup, investigate the crime scene, but I'm not going to proactively police because I'm not going to get something misconstrued that winds me up on trial for my life, okay? And if anybody doesn't believe that they would think the same thing to a degree, then you're deluding yourself, okay? And no, I'm not saying that people are going out here and, I'm just not going to police. Well, you should get a new job. Yeah, maybe you should. But if enough of them do that, which cops have been choosing to go in different directions, we've seen an acceleration in crime. So I will say that we have our work cut out for us, Gore said. It's going to be a challenge. Failure is not an option. With a backlog of thousands of cases, many of which are violent, and the newly appointed circuit attorney has his hands full. Within an hour of being sworn in, I assigned someone to specifically conduct a detailed assessment of where the warrant office is and provide me a report of that, Gore said. We're in the process of doing that right now so I can speak to it. Now check this out. Last week, in an exclusive interview, Parson, the governor, said his legal counsel, Ivan Rodriguez, who was serving as interim circuit attorney, found 4,800 warrant applications that had been reviewed. The governor said at least 1,000 of those were Class A and B felonies. Now, these haven't been followed up on, okay? Kim Gardner, she was the prosecutor up there who just got unceremoniously booted from the position. Gore took the oath of office on Tuesday, surrounded by his family, friends, and local and state officials. His swearing in comes 2 weeks after Kim Gardner abruptly resigned. Gore said he was surprised by her resignation, but she wasn't getting the job done. I thought the circuit attorney's office was ceasing to play its critical role in the criminal justice system, and that is not sustainable. You're damn right it's not sustainable. Kim Gardner was actually not even focused on the job. She was going to nursing school part-time. What do you want to be, lady? Why did you run for the office of top prosecutor in this area, and then you're going to nursing school? What are you doing? All right? So she was absolutely ineffectual, okay? A failure, and the crime stats there show it. Just like here in Baltimore with Marilyn Mosby, the state's attorney that I was talking about earlier, who has been charged with federal crimes. She was on the cover of Vogue. She was traveling all over the world, boondoggles and whatnot, in order to, bring back Copenhagen's crime-fighting techniques to Baltimore. I don't think it fits. So we've got a new prosecutor up there in St. Louis. He says that he understands the job and is going to do it. Okay? Yeah, people have a right to a defense, and they should be able to have one. But the state, the people, also have a right to be safe. If the government can't keep you safe, what is the government for? What am I paying taxes for? Okay? So let's go out there to, San Francisco. Mayor London Breed. We did the video a few days ago about her being chased out of an area of San Francisco. She was making a speech, and the drug addicts and drug pushers said, not in my neighborhood. And someone threw a brick at her. Okay, and she said, probably gonna do this via Zoom, a lot safer, and she left. A few years back, San Francisco's mayor, London Breed, responded to demands from Black Lives Matter protesters by defunding the police. That was the mantra, and she actually did it. Fast forward to today, the crime-ridden city with out-of-control theft has experienced a business exodus and a shaky recovery. That's right. They've had a whole bunch of businesses leave, and they took their jobs and taxes with them. Breed's decision... before I go on, let me say something. If you've got a business that packs up and leaves... Let's say you got 5 or 6 people working in the CVS at any given time, okay? Or the Walgreens, and Walgreens says, we can't do it anymore. The theft is out of control. Our employees are not safe. We're out, okay? So not only are you now missing those jobs, okay? Not only do you have a vacant storefront, which is not good, okay? But the deli down the street, where some of these people would go grab lunch twice a week, pizzeria over here around the corner, okay, they're feeling a hit from that. And multiply that by all the businesses that have got up and left San Francisco, and a chain reaction is initiated. Seems like London Breed might be finally recognizing that Breed's decision to defund the police has backfired. In an about-face, she plans to boost police funding to attract businesses back to the downtown area. This is all coinciding with the bankruptcy of Black Lives Matter. If you donated, I know no one here did. I hope, because this audience can see through stuff like that and would say, no, I'm going to donate maybe to a child's college fund so that they can got to go to a conservative college, can't go to Boston University. We reported on that the other day. Or I'm going to put this away and just let it grow for some child as they mature into an adult and start building wealth. That's what this audience does. But a lot of people donated to Black Lives Matter. Turns out that was just a get-rich-quick scheme for Marxists, of all people. Marxists are not supposed to have multi-million-dollar properties, are they? They're not supposed to make like 7-figure salaries, are they? Okay, maybe this is 2023 Marxism. But anyway, London Breed is making this about face coinciding with the bankruptcy of Black Lives Matter. They've been found out, right? So you're not going to be hearing them in any legitimate fashion. They never were legitimate as far as I'm concerned, all right? So here we are. Mayor Breed's new $6.85 billion budget highlights the challenges faced by San Francisco as the city grapples with sliding tax revenue. Money talks. Some of the lowest office occupancy rates in the country, and a growing number of business leaders and residents urging officials to clamp down on crime. So the fault also lies with the people, okay? I don't think I went into that earlier, but look, citizens, if you guys are going to get out there and, act emotional and say defund the police, well, your representatives are going to listen to you and they're going to do just that. But your mayor has police protection when she goes home at night, okay? And you don't. Did you think that far down the line? So your likelihood of calling 911 and having someone come out before your property is stolen because you heard a bump in the night, now that's a lot different than it was prior to the hysteria of defund the police. All right. Bloomberg said the mayor unveiled a 2-year budget that increases funding for police and expands the police force by 200 officers. But look, it might be too little too late. Good luck getting 200 people who want to do that job now, okay? We had some employment numbers come out and say the jobs are, rather plentiful. So I don't know if, you can completely trust that. We'll look at the ADP survey. I trust that more than the government. But why would anybody want to be a cop? You've allocated the funds, but are you going to be able to backfill? Are you going to be able to hire 200 cops? Not backfill, but hire 200 new cops? Are you going to be able to do that? We have been forced to make some really challenging changes to our budget, Breed said while she announced her budget this week. She added, how do we get people and businesses back on their feet is exactly what this budget is proposing to do. Well, people are leaving California, getting the hell out of there. Remember the Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry movies? They were set in San Francisco. Dirty Harry would not make it out of the academy. He probably wouldn't make it in. Breed's policy U-turn is embarrassing because defunding and refunding the police is one of the biggest admissions of any metro area that progressive policies have flat out failed to make cities safer. It's not like the policies just said, okay, it's not going to get safer, but it's not going to get more dangerous. It's got a hell of a whole lot more dangerous in all of these metro areas that have adopted this foolishness. And I'm speaking for the people who, again, are getting up, going to work, doing an honest day's work every day, living honestly. Do you think I care about these thugs who are out there robbing, stealing, beating people, shooting each other, okay, and other people? No, I do not. And yeah, you are innocent until proven guilty. But if you're suspected of a violent crime and you're caught on video and you're maybe on YouTube even bragging about it, okay, then come on, let's get real. These disastrous policies have transformed San Francisco and many other metro areas into hellholes. We must add business leaders and residents must hold the mayor and other Democrats accountable for implementing failed policies. So there you have it. Okay, we've got a total reversal of the sentiment here that, I guess sanity will reign at some point in all things eventually. All right. But it's starting to reign here with regard to crime. We will see if other cities follow suit and work to get their crime problem under control by being as aggressive in prosecution and law enforcement as the criminals obviously are. All right. We talked about how violent these crimes are becoming and indiscriminate in their nature. Okay. It used to be a thing where growing up in Baltimore City when the crack epidemic started, they would make a point of saying, well, this is crime that's confined in this, little group of people who are criminals. That's not the case anymore, guys. And everybody knows it. So look, Apple and Goldman Sachs put together a high yield savings account. And guess what? It's not going well. People are pissed off because their money's frozen. They can't get it out. See what's going on with that. Do you have an Apple high yield savings account? Were you thinking about getting one? Watch this video before you do that. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.